Okay, so for today, we're gonna go with task 50.
All right.
Okay, how many sessions left do we have for TOEFL? Because I heard that you're gonna be taking the TOEFL exam on the 12th, right?
Yes. Well, yes.
Okay, so we will still have, um, hold on, let me double check. Is it like today and Sunday
Please.
and
Next.
Tuesday as well?
Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
today, Sunday, and Tuesday. Okay, I see. So three sessions left before you take. Okay, but I do believe you will still continue to study here because you will be having what was that? Current events sessions, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I see, I see. Okay, good to know that you will still continue to learn on your free time. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, today we're just gonna go with our usual practice, and today's session we will be having task 50, okay? So in the website we only have until task 58, but I think we will not reach task 58 because yeah, we only
Oh.
have three sessions left,
Yeah.
right? So it's okay. We don't need to worry too much about it. Okay,
Okay.
so shall we begin our session?
Of course.
Okay, all right. So we'll begin with let me just prepare my notepad. Do you have pen and paper with you?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, all right. I see. And let's start with question one. Okay, and here's the audio. Good luck.
Some people like having a wide variety of friends and acquaintances they can spend time with. Others like to spend most of their free time with the same small group of close friends. Which do you prefer? Explain why.
Okay, 15 seconds. All right, 15 seconds to prepare starts now. Good luck. Okay, time's up. All right, you have 45 seconds to speak. You may begin.
Okay. In my opinion, I like to spend my free time with my close friend. And the reason is I can know my friend more deeper. And because I spend a lot of time to have a conversation with them, I can know them well. And we also can change our experience about our life. And I can learn more different point of view from them. And this is why I feel this way. That's it.
Hmm? Okay, I see. We'll discuss later on, but we'll proceed to question two
Okay.
first. Okay. Okay, we'll proceed to question two. So you have 50 seconds to read the article
Okay.
and 50 seconds to read starts now. Good luck. Okay, time's up. All right, let's try to listen to the audio. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's begin. Good luck.
Now listen to two students discussing the opinion expressed in the letter.
I totally agree with the letter.
How come? Don't you think the campus will look prettier at night?
Well, it might make the buildings look nice at night, but why should we waste so much money on something we really don't need, just for looks? There are more important things than that.
I can see your point.
I mean, how long has that library project been going on?
Yeah, the whole third floor has been closed for the last few months.
Exactly. And just last night I had my astronomy class with Professor Heinrich. He told us something that was totally disappointing. We've been tracking a comet all semester long, and he says that if the university's plan goes through, we won't be able to see the comet through the telescopes anymore.
That's so sad. You chose this school just because of the astronomy program, didn't you?
Yeah, it's such a good program. But if it's too bright around here at night, we'll have to go back to looking at pictures of comets in the textbook. You can tell Professor Heinrich is disappointed too. It's the hands-on experience that gets everyone all excited.
Explain why the man agrees with the professor's opinion.
Okay, you have 30 seconds to prepare your answers, and your 30 seconds begin. Good luck. Okay, time's up. So, you have 60 seconds to speak. You may begin.
According to the letter, it suggests that the school should purchase more outdoor lighting system. The men in the conversation disagree with this proposal. He said, there's no need to add more lighting system on the campus because during the night, the astronomy equipment cannot see the stars. It will be a waste if they can only observe the star in the textbook. And also he thinks that the university should use the money to continue the library process. And this is why the men disagree with this proposal.
Okay, hold on. Let me write down notes. Okay, all right. We'll proceed with the question 3.
Okay.
This time. Okay, so same thing. You'll have, you'll have 50 seconds to read as well. And then after 50 seconds, we will listen. Okay,
Okay.
50 seconds to read starts now. Good luck. Okay, time's up. All right, let's try to listen to the audio. Okay, good luck.
Now listen to part of a lecture on this topic in a psychology class.
When I was a student in middle school, some of my classmates and I got an assignment to do a group presentation on tropical plants. Okay, and as part of this assignment, we needed to memorize the names, and certain key characteristics of the plants. Then, on the morning the assignment was given, our teacher gave us time to work on the presentation during class, right there in the classroom. So there we were, during the school day, in our usual classroom, studying and memorizing the information. And our teacher and the other kids in the class were all there too. Okay, so then later, on the night before the presentation, I invited my group members over to my house to do some final studying. And there we were. It was after dark, my parents and my brother were in the next room watching TV, and no one else was around. It felt pretty different from working in the classroom with all our schoolmates around, like it was on that morning when we'd spent time learning the information. Anyway, at my house, when we tried to remember the plant information, we got a little worried. Suddenly it was more difficult to remember all the names and different facts. But the next morning, when we were back in the classroom, the presentation actually went very smoothly. It was easier for us to remember what we needed to talk about.
Using the example from the lecture, explain the concept of state-dependent memory.
Okay, you have 30 seconds to prepare. 30 seconds, begin. Good luck. Okay, time's up. All right, 60 seconds also to present. You may begin, Vivienne. Good luck.
State-dependent memory is that when people learning in the same environment, they can remember the content easily. And the professor used an example to explain how they work. He said when he was a student and he and his classmate have to have a presentation in the class. So after school, he went to their house and it find out that they was difficult to remember the content of the class. And on the day they have to presentation in the class, they going smoothly. And this is how the state-dependent memory work.
Okay, thank you so much for your answers. And let's have the last question. Okay. All right, let's have question 4. Let's start. Good luck.
Listen to a lecture from a biology class.
So, we've been talking about how animals have developed different ways of surviving. And one way is from having developed special physical characteristics that help protect them from the dangers in their environment. These are known as protective adaptations, and there are 2 different kinds. Some animals have defensive adaptations. That means they protect themselves by having body structures that make it hard for predators to get at them. And other animals have offensive adaptations, body structures that keep predators away. All right, let's start with the turtle. It's a good example of an animal with a defensive adaptation. Since you've probably all seen turtles, you already know that it has a hard shell that covers its back and vital organs. Its shell is its special physical characteristic, and it's so strong it won't break or split open, making it very hard for a predator to get at it. The turtle also has a flexible neck, so it can pull its head down under its shell. Its legs can also fold up under the shell and provide more protection still. All right, but now let's talk about the porcupine. That's an animal that protects itself with an offensive adaptation by threatening a predator with physical harm. In case you haven't seen a porcupine recently, just imagine an animal with a small body that is covered with thousands of long, sharp, needle-like quills. Those quills are its special physical characteristic. So whenever a predator gets too near, when it brushes against the porcupine, those sharp quills come loose and become embedded in the predator's skin. So predators know enough to stay away because they see the porcupine's threatening quills and they don't want to risk being hurt by them.
Using points and examples from the lecture, Explain 2 different protective adaptations.
Okay, you have 20 seconds to prepare your answers. 20
Okay.
seconds starts now. Good luck. Okay, time's up. All right, 60 seconds to speak. You may begin.
In the biology class, the professor used two examples to explain how the animal use their physical to protect themselves. And first, she mentions that turtles have the hard shell that can prevent the predator to attack them. Their neck are flexible, so they can go back into their shell. And second, the porcupine, and they are the small animal, but they have the thousands heart-shaped sharp quills. And when the predator comes near them, their quills will will in will stick into the predator's skin so that the predator will go away from them. Okay.
I'm on mute. Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, all right. How were the questions, Vivienne? Is it?
Huh? What?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I mean, like, I was asking you, like, how were the questions?
How were the questions?
Are
You
they
mean
difficult, easy, so?
it is not that hard, but
Uh-huh.
it is hard for me to organize and speak smoothly. I think I can get the points that the
Mm-hmm.
listening or the reading content, but
Mm-hmm.
I just hard to speak smoothly.
Okay, okay. I see, I see. All right, let's try to discuss then your answers. Okay. All right, let's begin with number one. Okay. All right, so for number one, some people like to have a wide variety of friends and acquaintances they can spend time with. Others like to spend most of their free time with the same small group of close friends. Okay. Which do you prefer? Explain why. Okay. All right, so your answers were, I would say, redundant or repetitive, actually,
Oh,
because you said like you can know your friends more deeper. Okay, and then uh I you can know them well. I think
yes,
you are close friends, so I think you know them already, right?
yes. In my
Uh-huh.
mind, I want to say more about the connection, can more deeper, something like that.
By
By during the difficult times together.
huh? By what do you mean?
Um, the bonds between me and
Mm-hmm.
my friends when we face the same difficult things, and we can more get more bonding with my
Uh-huh. Well, why are you talking about difficult time? We are talking about free time only. No, they are not you're not facing challenges
oh,
with them. Okay? Free
mm,
time only, not difficult time.
mm. Well, if I spend my free time with my close friend, we can talk about more about we can talk more about our life's experience
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
and connect to each other more.
Okay. More deeper. Okay, just that one. Yeah. So all of your answers here, they are like going around, but just one point. So just use one reason and let's say what were the benefits. Okay, let's say I prefer um to spend more time with my close friends because I would like to know them more by, let's say, sharing experiences or learn from their opinions or learn from their point of views in life. Okay, so one reason you want to know them more, you want to make the connection stronger, and then you have to say how. So let's say you share your experiences or you share your opinions about things. Okay, that is the clue in there. Okay, so how will you say your answer this time?
Okay. In my opinion, I will prefer to spend my free time with my close friends. The reason is I can learn the different life experience from them. Um, for example,
No, no,
when
no,
I
no, no. Your
oh,
reason was you make connections, right? That was your reason earlier.
yes,
Okay. So to know them, okay, just pick
oh,
one. Okay. What is
okay.
your reason?
Um, I think learning from things from them is more easily for me to expand the example.
What would be your example?
Okay. When I learn the different view on one thing, I
Uh-huh.
can I can deal with the things easily because my friend they told me their life experience, so I can
Mm-hmm.
handle the different things well.
Okay. All right. So you can learn from sharing
Uh,
your experiences. Okay. So that will be your reason. Okay. All right. So let's say I prefer or I choose to spend my free time with my close friends. That is because I would like to. What's your
I
reason?
would like to learn the different life experience from them.
Oh, okay. I'd like to know and learn
Okay.
about their life experiences. Okay, all right. What's the reason why you would like to know?
So that um, when I deal with something difficult, I
Okay,
can use the I can use their experience to handling the things,
okay, all right. Handle the problem. Okay,
handle the problem.
okay, all right. So this is how you will be answering question number one. Okay, all right. Okay, we'll go with other questions or clarifications here, Vivian.
No,
Okay, I actually wrote it down via chat box so you can see the
okay,
answer on the chat box. Okay, let's go with additional lighting system.
okay. When I go to this part, when I during my speaking, I realize
Uh-huh.
I might probably make a mistake because
Yes.
the listening says I agree with the letter.
Yes, that's why I was shocked with you when you ended your sentence. Okay. All
Okay.
right. So, meaning the professor opposes and the man agrees with the opposing. Okay, or with the opposition. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's why I asked for some time to write. Okay, because I got yeah, I was shocked with your final conclusion. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So in here, so there is a professor of astronomy or wrote a letter to
Yes.
the plan of this university or the school to add lighting. Okay, in this campus. So he doesn't want it because he mentioned that it was just a waste of money. Okay. Yes. Okay. Remember, this is the point of the professor, but the question is about the man. So he mentioned, explain why the man agrees. So the man agrees because of his reasons. Okay. Why do we waste money on something we don't need? We don't really need, right? It's just for design, eliminating the buildings and stuff. Okay. That was the reason why the man disagrees. And his other points were
The
um
library
yeah, the
first.
library. Uh-huh. I think they can use the money there to, what do you
Con-
call that? Yeah, to make the renovation faster also. Yeah, as quickly as possible. Okay. All right. So academic mission must come first, and the practice of astronomy is done best when the sky is darkest. So if you put lighting, it's not dark anymore. Okay. But the point of the person in the audio was we won't be able to see the comets in the university and just look at them on pictures, right? So he mentioned a very valuable vocabulary, hands-on experience. Okay,
hands-on.
meaning, yeah, hands-on experience, meaning like you see a comment through a comet, a comet through a telescope rather than just looking at books and pictures. Okay, that is the
Okay.
point there. Okay, so how will you build up your answer this
Okay.
time? Mm-hmm.
According to a letter,
To the
the
letter.
to the letter,
Mm-hmm.
and it suggests that the university should not add it
Should not
more
add.
should not add more outdoor lighting system because they have already spent too much money on the electricity. And the
Mm-hmm.
man in the conversation agreed with this proposal. He said there's no need to have more lighting in the night because it is not necessary. And he also mentions that they can use the telescope in the night because the sky is too bright. It will be a waste if they can only see the star through the textbooks. And
Mm-hmm.
this is why the man approved with this.
Agrees with the opinion of the professor. Okay. Yes. All right. Good thing here is I did not write the note here, so it's up to you if you listen carefully. Okay. All right, but that's okay. That is totally fine. Okay, so that's how you will be answering this one. Questions for question two?
No,
None. We'll go with question three, state dependent memory. Okay. Your
okay,
answer was too short. Okay, not really that lots of strong context. You just mentioned that when people learning in the same environment, they remember the content easily. Okay, and then the example was not organized fully. It was in order, but no transitional devices. Okay, like first, then also during the night before their presentation, the following morning before their presentation, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So try to use transitional devices, especially for questions 2 to 4. They need a lot of transitional devices because you have to give the examples for them. Okay.
okay,
Okay. All right. How will you answer this one again?
okay. State dependent memory is
Mm-hmm.
that when the people they learning in the same environment, they
Mm-hmm.
can remember things well.
Mm-hmm.
The professor used his experience as an example. He said when
Mm-hmm.
he was student and
Mm-hmm.
he have a course, he have a class that have to remember the plant's characteristic
Characteristics. Name and characteristics.
characteristic
One more
characteristic
time.
correct
Correct. Characteristics.
Characteristics.
Okay, that's better. Good. Next.
Have to remember the plant's characteristics during the class. So after school, he and his classmate go to his house, and but in his house it was difficult to remember the course content for them. But for the presentation, they going smoothly in the class. This is how the state-dependent memory works.
Okay, I'd like to go back to the first part. Okay, what is state-dependent memory again?
When people learning in the same environment, they can remember things well.
Okay. All right. Okay, that sounds better, actually. So what you need will be try to be mindful of your, what do you call this? Like vocabulary. Okay. So it was before. I mean, the flow should be before, like, I mean, like the day the professor gave the task, the night before the presentation, and then the day of the presentation. Okay. And what's the result as well? Okay. All right. Okay. So,
Before they have a presentation, they going to the professor's house to practice the course.
sorry, professor's house?
There, yeah, I think their professor's house.
Was he a professor at that time already?
Oh, his house.
Okay, he was still a student at that time, right? Okay, so let's say when he was in college, his professor gave them a task where they had to remember the characteristics and names of the plants. So the night before the presentation, he invited his classmates. It was dark, and they couldn't remember the things that they studied about. But when they reached the classroom the following morning, they were able to remember and have a smooth flowing presentation in class. Okay, so I said before, the night before, the day after, and the result of it. Okay, and then ending for that. Questions, please? Here? No?
No.
Okay. How will you say it then?
Okay. State dependent memory is when the people they learning in the same environment, they can remember things well. The professor used himself as an example. He said when he was student, or when he was student in the class, their teacher asked them to remember the plant's characteristics. And after the class, the professor invite her classmate to his home to practice the presentation. In his house, they find out that they are difficult to remember the course content. And before the after the day they have to presentation, they find out that going to smoothly and fluently.
That's it?
In the class.
Okay. So that's how state-dependent memory works. Okay. All right. That's better. Okay. Let's have the last one. So we're actually going to talk about the two different protective adaptations this time, Vivian. Okay. So if you remember, the example was about two. two different animals, but it was mentioned that there are two different kinds of protective adaptations. What were
Yes.
those?
One is defense
Defensive and
turtle, and the other one I'm not here the
okay.
term of
Okay. All right. It's offensive, actually.
offense.
Offensive. Okay. And the example was a
Porcupine.
okay, it was a porcupine. Okay, so how does the turtle use his protective adaptation?
Their body structure have the
Mm-hmm.
hard shell.
Mm-hmm.
When the turtle met the predator, they can go back. They can go back into their shell.
Mm-hmm.
Then the predator attack them.
Okay, when the predator
When the
attacks
attack,
them. Okay, not then. Okay, when.
when
Okay. All right, because like their neck is flexible and their legs can fold up, going back in the shell.
go back, go back
Uh,
to their shell.
fold, fold back, fold. It was
Oh,
fold up actually.
hold up,
Yeah, fold up. Okay, but for the neck, yeah, it can be pulled back.
pull back,
Pulled back was the neck,
pull back to
and
their
then the legs were fold up.
hold up.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay,
Okay, let's have the porcupine this time. Okay. So for the porcupine, it was offensive, right?
yes.
Yes. Okay. What do porcupines use to protect themselves?
Their body have full of thousands sharp quills.
Quills. Okay. Needle-like quills. Okay. And then what happens when an animal gets near them?
When the predator nears them, they
Gets
will
near them.
get near them.
Mm-hmm.
The predator gets near them, they will use their sharp quills to stick into the predator's skins so
Mm-hmm.
that the predator will fall back.
Huh?
Well,
Fall back? What
the
be fall
predator
back?
will run away.
Okay, we'll run away would be a better term. Okay, we'll be scared and run away.
Scared.
Okay, and that's how.
How the animal use their body structure to protect them from the predator.
Okay, all right, that would be a better answer this time. Okay, all right. I think we still have some time to do a little practice. Is that okay, Vivian? Okay,
Yes.
we'll go back to question one this time. Are you ready? Okay, let's begin. Good luck.
Some people like having a wide variety of friends and acquaintances they can spend time with. Others like to spend most of their free time with the same small group of close friends. Which do you prefer? Explain why.
Okay, you have 15 seconds to prepare your answers. 15 seconds starts now. Good luck. Okay, time's up. All right, 45 seconds to speak. You may begin.
In my opinion, I prefer to spend my free time with my close friends is because I can learn the different life experience from them. It can help me to handle different things well from the experience I learn from them. Take myself, take me as example. When I was in college and my friend told me that how he solved the problem of of his work, and it was useful for me to handling the same thing because after that I met a works problem. So I immediately think about his experience so that I can handle the things well. This is why I prefer to spend my free time with my close friends.
Okay. I think you added more example. Make the example shorter. Okay.
Thanks, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Okay. We'll go with question 2. All right. You have 50 seconds to read and then we'll start. Good luck. Okay. Time's up. All right.
Okay.
Let's try to listen to the audio. Good luck.
Now listen to two students discussing the opinion expressed in the letter.
I totally agree with the letter.
How come? Don't you think the campus will look prettier at night?
Well, it might make the buildings look nice at night, but why should we waste so much money on something we really don't need, just for looks? There are more important things than that.
I can see your point.
I mean, how long has that library project been going on?
Yeah, the whole 3rd floor has been closed for the last few months.
Exactly. And just last night I had my astronomy class with Professor Heinrich. He told us something that was totally disappointing. We've been tracking a comet all semester long, and he says that if the university's plan goes through, we won't be able to see the comet through the telescopes anymore.
That's so sad. You chose this school just because of the astronomy program, didn't you?
Yeah, it's such a good program. But if it's too bright around here at night, we'll have to go back to looking at pictures of comets in the textbook. You can tell Professor Heinrich is disappointed too. It's the hands-on experience that gets everyone all excited.
Explain why the man agrees with the professor's opinion.
Okay. You have 30 seconds to prepare. 30 seconds starts now. Good luck. Okay. All right. You have 60 seconds to speak. You may start.
According to a letter, it suggests that the university should not purchase more outdoor lighting system. And the man in the conversation agreed with this proposal because he said there is no necessary for school to add lighting system because it is wasting money. And instead, he thinks the university should spend more money on the library project. And because he have the astronomy class in the night, but they have the difficult to observe the comet during the night because the sky is too bright for them to observe the comet. And this is why the man disagree with this proposal.
Okay. Absorb the what?
Absorb the comet.
Why would they absorb the comet?
Is that common?
You know what's a comet?
Oh yes, a kind of planet.
Why are they going to absorb it? Okay, it meant capture or see. Okay, not absorb.
Oh,
Okay, that's a little confusing though. Okay,
capture.
all right, but that's okay. That's totally
Um,
fine. Mm-hmm.
next.
Okay, next one. We'll have three. Okay, also 50 seconds to read, and you may begin. Good luck. Okay. All right, let's try to listen to the audio this time. Good luck.
Now listen to part of a lecture on this topic in a psychology class.
When I was a student in middle school, some of my classmates and I got an assignment to do a group presentation on tropical plants. Okay, and as part of this assignment, we needed to memorize the names, and certain key characteristics of the plants. Then, on the morning the assignment was given, our teacher gave us time to work on the presentation during class, right there in the classroom. So there we were, during the school day, in our usual classroom, studying and memorizing the information. And our teacher and the other kids in the class were all there too. Okay, so then later, on the night before the presentation, I invited my group members over to my house to do some final studying. And there we were. It was after dark, my parents and my brother were in the next room watching TV, and no one else was around. It felt pretty different from working in the classroom with all our schoolmates around, like it was on that morning when we'd spent time learning the information. Anyway, at my house, when we tried to remember the plant information, we got a little worried. Suddenly it was more difficult to remember all the names and different facts. But the next morning, when we were back in the classroom, the presentation actually went very smoothly. It was easier for us to remember what we needed to talk about.
Using the example from the lecture, explain the concept of state-dependent memory.
Okay, 30 seconds to prepare. Good luck. Okay, time's up. 60 seconds to speak. You may begin.
State-dependent memory is when the people learning in the same environment, they can recall the memory well. And the professor used himself as an example. He said when he was a student, um, their teacher asked them to remember the planet name. They asked them to memorize it. And during the class, he and his classmate are having a class in the classroom. And after school, the professor invited her classmate into his house. And they find out that they are hardly to remember the detail in the class. Back the day in the presentation day in the classroom, they find out that they are going smoothly with the presentation. And this
Mhm.
is how the state-dependent memory works.
Okay, we have a little problem with the time there.
So,
Okay, but it was better already. Okay. All right. As for question 4, since it's already time, Vivian, we will try to continue it on our writing class. Okay, just a little bit, just question 4. Okay. All right. So yeah, we'll
oh,
take. Yeah, sorry.
we after the class, I have upload my
Oh
writing
yeah, I already saw it like yesterday.
more than yes,
Yeah, I already saw it actually. No worries.
I upload the 2 document, but you
Huh? Why 2?
because I have made some change in the previous one, so
Okay.
I have titled the new.
Okay. I'll just delete the old one. Is that okay?
That's totally okay.
Okay. All right. I'll just delete it. Okay, I already deleted it. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we'll continue with question 4 in our next lesson and then we will check your homework. Okay?
Okay.
All right. We'll see each other later. Let's take a break. See you later. Bye-bye, Vivian. Bye.